I'm Rob Lewis. He's Grant Ramey. This is Exterior Home Solutions Fast Break coming to you from the bowels of Bridgestone Arena in an undisclosed location. And Grant, I mean, kind of a ho-hum afternoon for Tennessee. I mean,
in the best way possible.
And it felt like Texas's legs really kind of faded, as you would hope.
It honestly reminded me of 20-whatever year, Rick Barnes year one. Tennessee won Wednesday. Tennessee won Thursday. Tennessee battled for a half against, I think, LSU and Ben Simmons on Friday. Gave out in the second half just because 3 games in 3 days, especially Texas playing double overtime yesterday against Texas A&M. But, I mean, the way Chaz started, 17 points in the first 8-9 minutes, pretty crazy. What Sakai did in the second half, scoring all 19 of his points. He's the new single-season assists record holder now. He's got 230. So that was something for him as well to kind of accomplish. But boring in the best way possible because you want to come here and handle business to get to the Saturday to keep progressing towards whatever you've got in the NCAA tournament seeding-wise and go from there.
Yeah, and Tennessee, I mean, Trey Johnson gave Tennessee the business a little bit in Texas. I mean, 26 points, 11 of 17 shooting, and they got after him today. He's the SEC's leading scorer, and what did he finish with, 11, I want to say, and on 3 of 8 shooting, and just had 5 in the first half. Tennessee, I mean, they limited his looks, I thought was the biggest deal.
I think Jemai was motivated. I don't think Jemai discounts Zakai Ziegler as the defensive player of the year, but I don't think Jemai thinks he gets enough respect nationally for his defense. Igor mentioned in the locker room after the game that this morning they were going through a walkthrough and they said, we're going to double Trey Johnson. And Shaq said, no, we're not. Like, I got Trey Johnson. Like, that's who he is. He's motivated. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. And he didn't only do it on defense. He scored 13 points, season high. He had offensive rebounds that were big in the first half.
And got to the line.
He had assists. He makes foul shots. One of their worst shooters is their best foul shooter. So make that
got to the line 8 times today. I mean, he was a real factor on both ends of the court. And certainly, you mentioned Zakai. Came out. I mean, he's took 1 shot in the first half, didn't score, and sat the last, 6+ minutes and change after he picked up the second foul. Second half, lights out.
Yeah, and it started with that dribble drive to start the second half. He scores 20 seconds in by getting to the rim. He just can't pick up that second foul. He's got to be smarter. It's always that helping on the post, in the post defense to try to get the ball loose and slapping and getting caught there with his hand. So he's got to be a little bit smarter. But if you're going to score 19 in the second half, you're making up for it. And you got 6, 8 assists, whatever the number was.
And speaking of fouls, it's neither here nor there, but I've got to mention it. Tennessee almost got through the day without fouling a 3-point shooter. They buzzed Cade Phillips in the booth, and he got it in with 39 seconds left.
It's like a baseball game getting to the bottom of the 5th. It's not official until it can rain after the bottom of the 5th. It's officially a game.
Again, just a pretty efficient day for Tennessee. They shot the lights out in the second half, and that's enough about Texas. It's setting up Armageddon for tomorrow. Rematch. Tennessee gave Auburn everything they wanted, lost 53-51 down there, and I would say both teams are probably playing better now than they were then.
Yeah, most impressive 40 minutes of basketball I think we saw from Tennessee all season was at Auburn, given that stage, given everything that went into that game, how good Auburn was at the time, how good Auburn's been since then. Auburn getting Jemai Broome back for that game and getting 16 and 13 out of him, that was obviously huge. Tennessee had a 4-point lead with 2 minutes left. Like, you got to find a way to close that on the road, and I'm sure Tennessee's looking forward to getting another shot at it.
And Chaz scored 10 in that game.
Right.
You played 7 dudes. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I'm sure Auburn could point to a lot of things that they could have done better in that game. I mean, Tennessee is right there and got nothing or didn't get a lot from the leading scorer. And as you mentioned, they're up by 4 with 2 minutes left and just could not close it. So I'm looking forward to that one tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that was big for Chaz today too. I think it was big for Chaz today. You come on to score the way he did early because this is the postseason. Like, it's different. It's a different feel this time of year. So for him to do it the way he did it early on, it's a good start, and they need him to keep doing that.
And not for nothing, Tennessee has not lost a game this year where Chaz has scored 18 points.
Right. Keep doing it.
Or more. So, not to oversimplify things, but that's a pretty dramatic stat. He's Grant Ramey. I'm Rob Lewis. This is the Exterior Home Solutions Fast Break on Volquest.com from the SEC tournament.